We're here at the Peace Link Sports Facilities outside Clonus, celebrating peace building through sport. You can see here there's great fun at the climbing wall. Lots of children taking part. We're with Emer Nutty at the Peace Link Sports Facility in Clonus. Emer, a lot of sports activity taking place today?
Yeah, it's actually a really big day today. So today we're celebrating the finale of the Peace Building Through Sport project. It's been running here in the Peace Link for the past 18 months. So today is basically a day to celebrate everything that we did and everyone who came through the doors. So we have a few taster sessions on offer today. We've got some archery here behind me, if you can see. Out in the field we've got a little bit of baseball. And we've also got a climbing wall out there so people can give rock climbing a go. There's plenty of other activities going on here. We've virtual reality experience. We've got loads of local clubs as well from around Clonus here to help showcase what they have to offer for the town.
Yeah, there seems to be a strong emphasis on younger people participating in sport. Of course, what you're doing is showcasing other sports apart from where there might be considered one or two sports in Ireland, but there are quite a variety of sports, and you're showcasing a lot of them here.
Definitely. So the aim of the Peace Building Through Sport project, in a nutshell, was to promote minority sports in 13 to 24-year-olds. That's literally it in a nutshell. So a minority sport is basically, to sum it up, any sport outside your GAA, your soccer, your rugby, sports which are maybe predominantly participated by ethnic minorities. So we have Cavan Cricket will be here later as well today. It's just an idea, or it's just a way to get raise awareness, I suppose, in those minority sports, because we all know everyone knows GAA and Clonus, and I think that's what everyone associates Clonus with, is with GAA. So it's nice to bring a little bit of a taster to something different to the town as well.
Would you have noticed that what different sports are nearly associated with a particular ethnic group within Ireland? Do you feel that's your role, to integrate people who mightn't have traditionally played a sport that was associated with another divide? Yeah,
I definitely think sport is sport, and in my opinion everyone should give sport a go, because it does build communities. And if it can build a community with a certain group, well, why can't other groups take part? It shouldn't be a barrier for someone wanting to take part in sport.
We saw a documentary recently on the rugby, which is the one national team, and they indicated where the different divisions within the sport playing and fully integrated. So you feel that could be replicated in a lot of the sports you provide here?
Definitely. I think we just need to be open-minded. That's, I think, what a lot of it is, and I think we're going towards that time where we've new generations coming through, and I think the stigma associated with playing different sports is starting to drop off a little bit. I have noticed with certain clubs, some clubs as well, it's a little bit more mixed with different nationalities, different religions, different communities, which is great to see, and I think over time that will develop. But that's partially why we ran this project here, was to introduce communities to your sport that they might never have ever seen before. And I think that if we can start from the bottom and work our way up there, we can develop that into, something more positive, I think, for the future.
Yeah, that's brilliant, and we may talk to you a little bit later on some of the other areas within the centre. Thank you very much.
That's great, thank you.
We're with Adrian Kelly, a regular caller to our sports programme on Irish Web TV. Adrian, the baseball seems to be going from strength to strength.
Well, it certainly is. I think it's growing nationally, which is what we're all about, trying to recruit particularly youth players. But the Comets have been going for many years now. 2005 is when it was established. And we recently, in the last 5 years, we've moved it over to the Peace Link here in Clonus, which has been great for us, actually.
Yeah, I've been here all morning with the Peace Link facilities in Clonus. It's second to none, so it's better than university standard. I must really bring on your athletes when you see such facilities.
Absolutely. I mean, even just the pitch we're standing on is something you won't find in many places in the country. This is a 600 by 300 all-weather pitch. It's perfect for baseball, and we can play all year round practically.
So you're encouraging them, you're letting them see that there's another sports alternative to them, and that must be encouraging. Have you a particular age profile? Do you know about some team structures that have junior, intermediate and senior? Have you mightn't have that structure just yet in the baseball?
Well, we do. It's a blitz structure for kids, so we run summer camps and blitzes throughout the summer, and their ages anywhere from 8 to 12, and then from 13 up we have it's basically the adult league. And we've got a structured two-division league nationally. There's 400 adult players, there's 13 teams, and there's an All-Ireland competition each year, and there's Division B and Division A.
But the move that loans here, that have given you a far better catchment area, so are you seeing that in your numbers?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the Peacelink has something like over 60,000 unique users a year, which is incredible. So, I mean, it's an advertisement for us just to be here.
If you want to say something to our viewers on camera, what would that be to encourage members to join your club?
I suppose two things. First of all, for kids, I think it's a great alternative sport. I mean, many Irish sports you have to carry a certain level of fitness. It's about a lot of running up and down the field for soccer, Gaelic football, rugby, all those sports. Whereas sports could be, or baseball is a sport that kids could be good at, but they don't know they're good at yet, because all you need is hand-eye coordination. You don't need to be super fit in terms of cardiovascular fitness. And for adults, particularly for adults that are coming out of other sports like soccer and Gaelic football, which might be tough on the knees and the ankles and all those things that we're familiar with, baseball is different. It's a competitive team sport that you can play probably up until your 50s. So we're welcoming all newcomers, and knowing the rules is not essential. We've got all equipment provided and all the training provided, and we've got a good standard of coaches. Indeed, behind us we've got Shane Alberton, who was an ex-pro, who's just moved here last year actually from Florida. He played for the Miami Marlins in the organisation.
Well, that's brilliant. So that's continued growth for the Comets in this region.
Absolutely. Well, again, feel free to contact us. You'll find information on baseballireland.com or Facebook /Baseball Ireland, or indeed you can just find us on Facebook at the Comets Baseball, and I'll have all the information you need.
Now we're at Ende Kilpatrick from the Clonus Cycle Club, and great facilities here in Clonus.
Oh, marvellous facilities here in the Peacelink, absolutely brilliant. We use them all the time here for our Sportif, which is happening next Sunday, and then we do our winter training class as well here, so it's a marvellous facility, marvellous setup for everybody, so it is.
Now you hear about men, what's this famous one that men in Lycra something, but you have a both gender club here in Clonus?
Oh yes, we have a mixed gender club, both male and female, so we have probably nearly more male or female members than male members at this stage. We have about 65, 66 members in total, so we have. So mostly age dynamic from 30-year-old up till our oldest member is 75, I think it is.
The number of stands, of course, associated with this venue here is peace building. Would you have many of your cycles cross border, but so most of your cycle leaving Clonus you'd be crossing the border anyhow?
Exactly, yeah, most of them we do cross the border. If not going by Lissenski, we're heading by Cavan or heading by Newblis there. But yeah, we're cross border clubs we are, hence the colours, the blue for Monaghan and the green for Fermanagh. We'd have a lot of cyclists out of Lissenski, Newtown Butler in that general direction, even up as far as Carnrock and the Knox and that as well. Of
course, it's a healthy alternative for people who may not be want to align with what's considered mainstream sports like Gaelic football or soccer or rugby.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm a perfect example of it. I had a bit of a heart scare last year, even during cycling, and the surgeon told me only for the cycling I'd have been in serious trouble. Yeah, look, we're mostly leisure. We're predominantly leisure. We go out for a spin, we stop, have a coffee, have a little bit of a bun or maybe a scone or something there, but nothing too heavy, nothing too drastic. But you're getting a good cardiovascular exercise the whole time you're out. Probably 2 hour cycle most times whenever on the road.
I see Skoda, we covered once on our All About Sport programme, Skoda Cycle Challenge. Is that part of a thing that you get involved with?
Oh yes, it is. Skoda does, they sponsor a Triple Crowns event all over Ireland, one in Connemara, one in Clare, and one last week there in Louth on the Boyne Valley. And Skoda is very good to that there. They help with the marshal cars, and it's a very great incentive that they run with that now, so it is.
So if you want to appeal to people to join your club, talk to the camera, you just give them a few outlines who you are or where they can contact you.
No problem. We're at Clonus Cycling Club. We're based in Clonus, County Monaghan. We have a Facebook page, both a closed page and an open page. If anybody's looking to join us, send a message to Facebook Clonus or Clonus Cycling Club on Facebook, and they will reply back on that there. Or you can email myself at enda.kilpatrick@hotmail.com. Thank you.
So that's it now. You can have an alternative to the mainstream sports, and don't forget to follow that link and make that call to get involved in a very active sporting activity. Now we're joined by Susan Dawes. Susan, you have quite an involvement with the Peacelink venture here in Clonus.
Yeah, I'm a coach with Clonus Athletics Club, and I'm a gym member, and my kids are involved in the athletics club, and we use the facility 3 to 4 times a week at least. So we very much enjoy coming here, and it's very much part of our life, and it keeps us fit and healthy and happy. So.
Seem to be a lot of children here today, which is great to see them getting involved in sports early, and you say a number of your family are here as well.
Yeah, I have 3 kids, 12, 9 and 6, and we come here regularly 3 to 4 times a week, and we come and we run and we walk and we do lots of different activities, and it makes us fit and well, and we plan to come here for the long term.
So if there were any viewers online and you want to appeal to them to join the facilities here, just what would you say?
I'd say there's so many different sports and activities that you can get involved in, and it's a great way of keeping your children happy and healthy and fit and well.
And now we're joined by Brandy Mitchell, Eddy. You're going to talk about how Breffni Integrated is involved with the sports activities in the county.
It is Breffni and Monaghan Integrated Development are working together on something called the Community Health Synchronization Project, and it's run by the HSE Community Working Together COT program, and it's funded across border European funding Interreg program. And our purpose is to survey individuals in these 5 areas, so smoking, physical activity, nutrition, alcohol, and mental well-being. And we try to determine, based on how they answer the survey, how we can best guide them maybe, or help them, signpost them to local programs or groups that will benefit them.
Yeah, but if you listen to some of the medical experts, they're saying that there'll be an obesity epidemic in Ireland in a very short time, and participation in sport is only one end. There's food and diet and nutrition and all those type of things. So you feel that what you're doing, you have a 5-stranded approach to health and well-being.
Yes, because exercise is important, but so is diet. And so we look at both of those factors. Alcohol consumption and smoking also contribute. But mental well-being is largely affected by what we eat and how much exercise we get. So, yes.
Yeah, so the health authorities, that's why they see it as a benefit of walking, not even themselves, but walking through through yourselves with Breffni and Monaghan Integrated, getting to a wider community.
Yes, and working within the community. So we wouldn't have a lot of the health jargon that maybe you might get if you went to your local GP. You're just talking to a regular person like me. I've been trained to talk relatively educated on all of these, or in all of these areas, and help people, guide them and signpost them to things they can do without going to the doctor. Maybe corrections they can make to lifestyle before they actually need a doctor.
Right. So Brandy, if you wanted people to make contact with you to get further information onto the camera, Brandy, just a brief summary of who your organisation and how people can get in contact with you.
Okay, so my name is Brandy. I'm working through Monaghan Integrated Development. My phone number is 047-72191, and you can get in touch with me there, or if I'm not in, you can leave a message for me there.
That's fantastic. So that's an easy way to look after your health in 5 different strands.
Yes, absolutely.
Now with Mary Rose Jordan from the Irish Heart Foundation. Mary, you have a lot of people here today.
Yes.
You are providing some of the service that you normally provide in these type of locations. Maybe you'd give us a rundown on the service how you can help people.
Sure. So I'm here today with my colleague Melissa Collins, and the two of us are here for the afternoon to provide information on basically, healthy heart. So what we're going to do is check your blood pressure today. We're also checking your rate of your pulse. and we're able to write that down and give it to you and explain to you what are the normal parameters, and if it was a little bit up we can recheck it again and we can advise you what you need to do, whether you need to see your GP or maybe you need to take more exercise, etc. So we've loads of literature produced by the Irish Heart Foundation here, so we can get you to take that away with the little card which you can then bring to your GP and you can discuss it further. So there's lots of reasons for blood pressure. That could be that it could be high or a little bit higher than normal. So it could be family history, it could be weight, it could be salt, it could be alcohol, it could be smoking. So we literally have advice on every one of those topics, and we can share it with you and then give you our experience and send you on.
But you have also a policy of going to where the people are rather than getting people because they may, for one reason or another, be fear or think that I might run into difficulties. You go to where the people are rather than trying to get them to come to you. So
perfect today here, the peaceling. So we're all about community, and that is we have a mobile health unit which we normally are out in as well. Today we don't have it with us, and the unit comes to the people, as you say, to the community, and there's 2 little offices there, and people can come in and they can again talk to us in privacy. They've provided us with a lovely sort of setting here to sit down, but it's very busy, as you can hear, a lot of kids outside and that's what we want. We want people, and to make it as kind of part of the kids are having face painting here, then they're coming over and talking to the nurse, the parents here. So they then would sort of, and one of the questions we ask is, when did you last see your doctor? And it's interesting today because people will say, about a year, 2, geez, maybe 3. And depending on your age and your history, etc., we would advise you to go more often. So it might be just the trigger. I had somebody who today, hasn't been to the doctor since her child was born, and the child is 10 and had blood pressure problems during her pregnancy, and indeed today it was up. So, but she didn't think that was ever. She was shocked actually. So that's a visit to the doctor next week, and hopefully it will prevent any further damage to her heart, and that she will have the doctor's advice whether she needs to go on medication or if it's just something that needs to be reviewed regularly.
Yeah, but while we're at the event today in Clonus, it's primarily a sports thing, and that sometimes can contribute to heart-related things, but I'm sure you would know that you can have family matters, you can have financial matters, you can have maybe buying a house, selling a house, moving, separation, so there's lots of things that can contribute to people's ill health.
So I suppose what we would say is that your blood pressure is transient, it does go up and down, but it might go up during an event, but it should come down. And it's the sustained blood pressure, when it stays up high, that requires further intervention. So again, buying a house or maybe financial difficulties, that will raise your blood pressure, but you would hope that that it wouldn't stay up, that it would return. But if the body gets used to it being at that level and it's sustained, then you may require medication. It might be the trigger.
Right. So I'm actually going to take a chance here today to say don't have children, animals or live blood pressure tests live online. So we're just going to try it here and see what the outcome is.
Okay. So this is our SFIG. It's a very simple procedure. It's one thing that will actually give you a very quick result. So we just put the cuff on nice and tight there, and I'm going to ask you to make sure your legs are not crossed, which they are. I'm going to get you to sit back there. So now it's actually what we're doing here is probably absolutely the wrong thing to do. I'm just going to put your arm there like that. Can you still hear me with that? So we would advise you to actually close your eyes or relax, and you're holding a speaker and interviewing me, so it's probably not the wisest thing to do, but we're just going to do it for demonstrations to show people how simple it is. So this is the little face here, and we would always sort of kind of turn it away so people aren't kind of like looking over what is it or what am I or whatever. It gets tight, it can get quite tight, and if someone has a bigger arm it might get a little bit tighter as well. So I'm not going to talk to you for a minute. I'm going to ask you just to relax, and I'm going to press the button, and it's just going to take a minute or two, and then we'll get the reading. Okay, so just let that get tight there.
You see these type of devices advertised for people to buy them themselves. What would your advice be for people to have one of them in the home? Or
okay, so my advice would, I wouldn't actually be talking to a person when they're having their blood pressure, but again, as it's just a demonstration, you can, but sometimes I find that if people are very anxious about their blood pressure, it can actually add to the anxiety. Now, if it's someone you're tracking your blood pressure, perhaps there might be a nurse or somebody in the family that can kind of take that sort of stress off them. I think it's a great idea. But you can also get your blood pressure checked in pharmacies. A lot of the pharmacists have been we've done training days at Irish Heart Foundation nurses, and we've trained a lot of pharmacists, and a lot of pharmacists would have in-house information. So if it's a quiet day, you can go in and get it checked. In a lot of pharmacies, they've kind of like a little room there. So there's lots of other places that you can go, but it worries people, and I think sometimes it's the cost of going to see the doctor, and sometimes seeing the nurse is a little bit cheaper. But we would be advising to get all of your bloods done as well if you're going to get value for your money, if you like. Now, do you want me to say, or would you prefer not to?
Oh, no, we can, yes.
Okay.
We're open and
some
transparent.
questions. So,
Sure.
I mean, you can tell me, you don't tell me on the air now, but your age. Anybody in your family have any family history? Mom, dad, brothers, sisters, no heart disease, diabetes, or stroke?
No.
Okay. You're not on any medication?
No.
When would you last have seen your doctor?
6 months ago.
Okay. And has he ever queried your blood pressure?
Yes.
Okay. But no medication?
Well, it was 10 milligram tablet for blood pressure.
And did you take it?
Yeah.
Do you still take it?
Still take it.
Did you take it today?
I did. This
Okay.
morning, yeah.
And would this be a day that would put you under pressure, kind of moving around and having to
It
chat?
can do, because work related, talking to people, making sure that recordings go well. That
Absolutely.
It's not just a matter of pushing a button.
Of course, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still intrigued by having the test done to
Okay.
see how it works.
So today it's up. Okay. So it's 150/97, and we want it to be under 140/90. 120/80 is optimal, and 140/90 is as high as we like it. And your heart rate should be between 60 and 100, and yours is 106. So I would be viewing this as a little bit of anxiety around everything we're doing. And as I said, this would be very abnormal that someone would have a speaker up to the nurse, and you're trying to make sure we're getting this, taped, and it's going to be adequate, it's going to be a good example. So I would be rechecking that, and I'm happy to recheck that before the end of the day. We're finishing at 4. You can come over to me and we can check it again. You are in the medication, so sometimes what would happen is perhaps a person forgot it, or maybe I've had situations where people have a blood pressure like that has occurred, and you find they've been away for a weekend or something, they haven't taken it for 2 or 3 days. So, but if you have taken it, you're hydrated, and you're looking after yourself, that is a little bit higher than what we would want it to. The medication should be pushing it down, and it should be keeping it within the normal limits. So again, that's an excellent. You put yourself up as a great guinea pig here. It's an excellent example.
Well, it's important for people to see that this is as it was happening, and we have to bear with and take action, of course. Now, the Irish Heart Foundation doesn't survive on just people coming in to get their blood pressure.
No.
You require a lot of funding to support all these programs. And if you have a couple of minutes now to appeal to people to the camera about where they can make contact with you and how they contribute to your organisation.
Okay, so we have a Happy Hearts campaign every year, and that's often, you'll see there'll be in the shops, and there'll be boxes, and there'll be the little, the logos, etc. I mean, that is where we would get a lot of funding, and that would be a really important day. Sometimes we'll have church collections, and there'll be different fundraisings, but you can go on to our page, irishheart.ie, and you can sign up if you have if you'd like to give a regular donation, or if you want to give a once-off. We're very happy and delighted with any response that we get. We do get some funding from other little areas as well, and we do have a sponsorship and sponsor with our mobile unit. But I would say that the really important thing is that we're really about the community, and if somebody needs us, that's what we're there for. And the nurses are all working. We're all kind of self-employed. We're working through the Heart Foundation. We're here. We're all have a lot of experience. I'm over 15 years myself with the Heart Foundation. So you would see that the nurses genuinely want to help people. And again, anything we can do. And I said we have so much literature. There's actually, you can call the office as well. But I mean, again, if you just look at any of the literature on the back, it has all our details there. About the Irish Heart Foundation and its phone number, etc. There.
Yeah, that's only one of the brochures, and I would appeal to everyone viewing this. But this is a very cheap and this one, it was a free one today, early warning option for people who maybe wonder why I had a headache this morning, why I had a certain, felt dizzy when I got up suddenly or something. And this is a very, very first step for people to go to, and I would plead with you to support the Irish Heart Foundation whenever you get the opportunity. And thanks very much for speaking to us.
Yeah, thank you. That's very nice of you to do that for us.
That's it from a very busy Peacelink facility here in Clonus. lovely to speak to all the people involved in the process. And I would appeal to everyone who is considering getting their family or even themselves into sport, or even the healthcare that some of the people are organising here, to contact them, get involved. So it's Brian Daly for Irish Rep TV.